Well, America, you've got two great choices for president in Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton. And if you believe that, I'm sure you're going to love their plans to take away money from ordinary Americans by targeting our oil companies. I'll explain in just a bit with Ben Stein in tonight's Real Story. But before we get to the Democrats and how they're screwing us up with big oil, let's start with the Republicans and how they're screwing us to the wall with oil. Oil prices hit nearly $106 a barrel today. Remember the good old days when it was only $100 a barrel? It's no surprise now people are looking at OPEC, starting to blame, oh, what's Saudi Arabia? What's OPEC? Why won't they open up the spigots a little bit more? You know what? What do we expect OPEC to do? Is OPEC suddenly supposed to take pity on us? Newsflash, America. This isn't about OPEC. It is about us. We have a problem. And OPEC confirmed it yesterday in no uncertain terms. First of all, we don't have any refineries. No, we won't drill any place ourselves. And they said that the rising oil prices are not a result of their policies. They're a result, quote, of our mismanagement of the U.S. economy. You know what? I find myself today saying, I just said that I agreed with Howard Dean on something. It's crazy town tonight. I actually also agree with OPEC and Saudi Arabia on something. No one in this country actually wants to accept responsibility for their actions anymore. We'll just bail them out. Let's just start cranking things up. The old printing press of the U.S. Mint. Hey, you got a bad loan. Here's some money. Print more dollars. And when we print more dollars, it makes each thing worth more with our dollars because our dollars are worth less. It's simple supply and demand. If our money buys less and we import everything, those things cost more. And guess what? We import more than virtually anything else. Oil. America, please, stop pointing fingers. Stop trying to blame everybody else for our problems. We are doing this to ourselves, and we need to stand up and hold our people in Washington responsible, say enough. Steve Cardasco, he is the host of the Big Money Show on my radio affiliate, 1210 AM WPHT in Philadelphia. I got to tell you, it's driving me crazy, Steve. We're printing money. We're not exploring for oil. We're trapping ourselves in this, and everybody's like, hey, what about OPEC? Why doesn't OPEC give us a break?
Glenn, you're right on the money. You know, you've been on it for a while now. Myself, I wouldn't think I'd agree with the Saudis, but you got to agree with them there. They're saying, hey, take a look in the mirror. And if you really take a look at what's taking place right now, it is a lot to do with the dollar. It's a lot to do with the fact that we haven't invested in infrastructure and put facilities in that are state-of-the-art. It's been since 1977 that we've invested into the production of resources. There's also another component here. And that's how much manipulation might be taking place on the NYMEX, which is where this stuff trades, the futures contracts. I mean, if you really want to take a look at what's going on in our country right now, we have senators running around more worried whether Roger Clemens is on steroids versus whether there's manipulation on the NYMEX of oil contracts. Now, the Saudis gave us a free pass on that one.
How do you manipulate it? How would that happen?
Well, they control the contracts, which controls pricing. And look, it's speculative, it's conspiracy-type noise, but look, nobody's talking about it. That's the scary part, but if you talk to traders, they're telling you, hey, it's taking place. Now, look, if it was just the dollar, which I think part of this is the dollar.
The Saudis told us they're not going to lower the price. Our dollar falls for every penny our dollar falls, a penny up in the oil price.
It doesn't, well, maybe. But if you look at maybe some news that hits in Venezuela, has nothing to do. Our dollar may not take a hit based on geopolitical news, but yet the price of oil gets hit.
Sure.
Why is that? Because somebody's holding contracts on a marketplace which represents oil.
You know what really scares me is Russia is, they are going to control Europe. Did you see the new president of Russia? The first thing he did, shut down that oil pipeline to, where was it, Georgia on Monday, and said, hey, I guess you guys are out of oil. You don't agree with us? No gas for you. They are hoarding all of this energy. China is off our shore, just off the shore of Cuba, and they are going and drilling. Meanwhile, we do nothing. We are trapping ourselves in a box. We have got to go and find our own resources.
Let me tell you, Glenn, how dire the situation is. The only way we're on life support. The only way we know how to get ourselves out of a jam right now is to make money cheap, is to create credit in the United States. That's because we've incubated a bunch of people from Wall Street that are running around setting policy. And let's look at this. Wall Street companies have messed up so bad, the only way to fix their balance sheets is for the Fed to come out and lower the interest rate.
Right.
Now, they lower the interest rate, but guess what happens? Your credit card and my credit card that they got us all hooked on, they raise the rate there. So they get to charge, they get to make profits off of cheaper money. Our dollar gets beat up. Like the average guy, you know the guy in Brooklyn, you know what they get? They got a saying there, nothing.
Steve, thank you very much. We'll talk again. Coming